This is Jacob Harkey. It is March 15th, 2025, 2 days after the 114th birthday of L. Ron Hubbard, or what would have been had he not died in 1986. Currently, I am very near to Scientology's Big Blue building. Scientology still has tax-exempt status in 2025, in spite of, hey, Scotty's in here, in spite of all the ongoing litigation against them and all of the allegations of and credible stories from victims of Scientology about all of their abuses. The Witch Share is currently around the corner, and as soon as this light tells me that I can cross the street, I'm gonna get on over there so that I can say hey as well, and continue to protest against the abuses of the so-called Church of Scientology. Now, it's been a while since I protested Scientology. In fact, I have not protested Scientology since Mike Rinder died. I wanted to take a moment to address this because the truth is, he is one of the most influential figures in the anti-Scientology community, by my own assessment, for what my opinion as a never-end matters. But I was thoroughly impressed by his presence in Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath, his book, A Billion Years, his work on the Fair Game podcast with Leah Remini. It's no secret to many of you, I'm sure, that he's become a somewhat controversial figure, to say the least, in the anti-Scientology community. But he's dead now. He's died of cancer a couple months ago, in January of 2025. And in his final blog post, he praised those who will continue to wave the flag of exposing Scientology's abuses. So in honor of Mike and in honor of all victims of Scientology, I am here to protest once again. It's been a long while. I hope y'all have been well. Who else is here? Hello, Damian Ward. Hello, Auntie M. Hello, Bob Cox. Hello, Cool Jane. Vegas Andrews, Granny T. What a treat, she says. It's good to see you all. I've missed chatting with you all. What am I saying? I've missed chatting with you all. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Here I am. I'm a little bit closer. I will cross. Maybe pause and pose for some selfies once we're posted up in front of the infamous Big Blue building right here. Formerly a hospital, looking like a trifold presentation. This camera a little smudged. Here we are. Newfie and Bob Cox been following me for 3 years. Oh, wow. Okay, very cool. Well, hello to DOA's community. Great to have you in here. Thank you very much for the support. Here we are, Scientology's Big Blue building. Doubtful that we'll see into any of the windows. Oh, I see. Oh, is somebody watching me? Do I see a face? I feel like I do see a face. Maybe a red shirt, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. Wonder what is going on over there. Oh, shoot. One sec, folks. Or at least I put my selfie stick on my volume button. I kept seeing my volume spin out of control. I was like, what's going on? That's what it is. All right. Oh, goodness. Did I zoom in? There we are. All right. Maybe I ought to... Oh, folks are telling me that they're actually trolls. That's... Nope. Well, in any case, it's nice to meet you. You know what? I'll judge you by your character as I perceive it, based on my own interactions with you. So we'll see. Scotty says he was playing nice. All right. I see. Maybe I ought to take a screenshot of this later. Oh, can y'all in the chat confirm? Can you read this correctly? Because to me it appears backwards, but my understanding is that if you're watching, it'll appear forwards, but I'm not sure. It's backwards? Dang, it didn't used to do that. I used to be able to put it in selfie mode, and y'all would be able to read it. That's why would YouTube make that change? It used to be better. Ugh, YouTube. Well, there it is, with 8-pointed cross and all. Of course, the 8 points are for the 8 dynamics, not all of which I can name. All right, what's going on with Bob? See what they do? What's that, y'all? I don't even know if I am understanding all of the all of the lore to the community in my chat. But hey, we'll see what the day has in store. All right, let me post up for one moment, reset my charger. And now I will proceed to L. Ron Hubbard Way. Bunny B559 says, is that really you? Isn't your color usually different? My color meaning my hair color? Right now I've got a beanie on, if that's what you mean. Private property. Penal Code Section 602. It's really crazy to me that a religious organization can own private property when religious organizations are supposed to exist for the benefit of the public. Oh wow, there's folks out. There's Odo. Hello, Odo. No hello from him. I wasn't necessarily expecting one, but I do expect that the witch share may be up here, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of folks. I think I see some volunteer minister jacket right there. And folks in the chat, if you happen to know where Witch Share is at right now and if she's still on this street, that would be helpful to know as well. How's it going? There we've got the Continental Liaison Office, Western United States, Flag Service Consultants and Free Winds. And Janice asks, doesn't it look so much better with the planters being gone? The wooden box is gone. Happy Saturday, Odo. Blue matters, as said by ABCDEF Gem. Kelly, Wisconsin says, good to see you back at the Blue. Good to see you in the chat. American St. Hill Organization, aka ASHO, Scientology. Oh, in his footsteps, LRH birthday. There's an event I see advertised in there. Didn't catch the date. Oh, I see the chalking happening over here. I just saw the Witch Share last Saturday at Laura FM's concert. Brought my roommate to spread the Laura FM gospel. Learning and loving with you. I'm learning with you. If I'm not mistaken, her next show is March 28th. Hello! Not much. I'm pretty good. How are you? Good to see you. You've got... Oh wait, I gotta switch my camera view. Here is the Witch Share, everybody. Nice to see you again.
What are you doing? You too. It was good to see you. That concert was so awesome Saturday.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
So good.
Yeah, I ended up staying out pretty late that night.
Oh yeah.
But it was a fun time. I mean, I stayed until
I stayed until we got kicked out, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
What time was that? Like 2? I want to say that was
when
like.
I got home it was 4, but that's because of the time jump, so it would have been.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that threw me off.
That was why it was so late for me too. Okay, so are y'all catching this? So on that day, the time changed from 1:59 to 3 a.m. It just skipped 2 a.m. So usually, the Viper Room, is that the name of the venue? Yeah, so we were at the Viper Room for Laura FM's show. She played, I want to say like 9:30 to 10:15, something like that, around there.
It was about an hour, a little less maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
but she was done by around 10:15, 10:30.
Yeah.
And then there were a few more acts after her that were really good. And a lot of us stayed until the place closed. Usually the place closes at 2, but because of the time change, at 1:59, the time changed to 3. So now it was like, oh wow, it is very late now. And my roommate and I were taking public transportation, so we didn't get home until very late. But good thing it was a Sunday, so we had the day to recover. Meaning the show was a Saturday, next day was a Sunday. So let's take a look at some of the chalk you've got. I see you put in some.
I usually do some nice ones and then some against abuse. They sent kids out. They sent kids out to try to.
Yeah. So what's the story there? What happened?
That was just weird. Like a little.
But what do you mean they sent them out?
Oh,
like what?
Yeah, well there were I'm trying to remember. They sent one out and he looked minute, and then he came back and he started, you know.
Like kicking the
wiping
chalk?
The chalk off, yeah.
Oh.
But it was so obvious that they sent him out here to try to like, well, bait me, but it's like, dude, it's a kid, you know.
Yeah. Oh. I can't even say I'm surprised. I was listening to part of your stream where you said something like, but it's not surprising that Scientology would involve kids in that kind of work because they don't recognize children as children. They Satan's in small bodies, as they say.
It's insane. It's insane. L. Ron Hubbard just normalized
Bad dude.
pedophilia within Scientology.
Well, you know that line in Dianetics that's like a 7-year-old girl should have no adverse reaction to being kissed, even passionately, by an older man.
Yeah.
Or however, but that's my
Yeah,
paraphrasing. I don't know the exact wording.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
And then they've had child victims of sexual abuse as have to audit their abusers or be treated as the problem.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do to pull this in?
Exactly.
It's terrible.
It's so disgusting. It's just so disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I tell people about it, like they know it's bad, but the more you tell them about it, like they're like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm like, yeah, and I still will learn. One of them will say something, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's, I mean, since I've started paying attention to Scientology, it's like there's no normal way for me to bring it up in conversation with people who I don't know from this community without it being like, oh, have you heard of Scientology? Because then they go to, oh my gosh, are you a Scientologist? I'm like, no, I'm actually kind of invested in exposing the abuses of Scientology and achieving justice for victims of Scientology. But there's not always like a super brief way to say that.
I am, because I've been Ubering for now from where I live.
Wait, like you're driving Uber, or that's how you get here?
I
Gotcha.
take an Uber.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
Like when they're like, where are you going? I say Scientology, filling your throat. And they usually, a lot of times they want to know.
The Uber drivers?
Yeah, and most
Nice.
of them knew it was culty, but they didn't know about the kids. And when
Yeah,
you
I mean...
or tell them that they don't believe the kids exist and all that, they're like, they get it, that like, because imagine if, like, other religions, abuse goes on too, like the Catholic Church, Christian Church.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if it was normalized, if pedophilia was normalized the way that it is in Scientology. Way more people would be abused, in my opinion. If they were taught that kids are adults.
I mean, yeah, I know that Scientology is certainly not the only organization that has had horribly abusive practices, but the power that they wield and the unfortunate influence that it's had over organizations like the IRS that caved and gave them tax-exempt status because of fair game. It's like, wait, but these activities that they're using, their fair game policies that they're using to go after the IRS employees are the exact reason that they should not have tax-exempt status, because activities of fair game, harassment of critics, that should be a violation of public policy. That should be against what any normal, decent person sees as reasonable. But I'm preaching to the choir here.
In other churches, they can leave.
That's true. There's certainly other cults where there's pressure not to. There's pressure to stay. There's blackmail. There's the threat of excommunication. Jehovah's Witnesses, Latter-day Saints to an extent.
I was evangelical. Evangelical.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now I believe it's called Christian nationalism, but it's evangelical Christianity.
Are those one and the same?
When I see it, I see exactly how I was raised. So.
Interesting.
I just feel like that's just, what they call themselves now. Some of them probably just say evangelical, but they're Christian nationalists.
So, like, you were raised, like, believing that... Does that mean that America needs to become a Christian nation? Like, when you say Christian nationalism, like, putting the Ten Commandments in schools, like that?
Oh, yeah, that's how we were raised.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to public school or private school?
I did go to public school. It was a small town.
Okay.
Small town, yeah. But I got out of it when I was, like, 21. Working in Bible stores actually opened my eyes a lot. One, I started comparing verses in the Bible, the different versions, to see how much they were changing. Like, they like to turn the word evildoer into homosexual. You know what I mean? They
okay.
Completely change.
Interesting.
It's like a big game of telephone, in my opinion.
Huh.
But, I was taught about the rapture, that any second the rapture was going to happen, so you had to be right with God. Because if you're not right with God for just a split second and he comes back, you're going to stay and
go to hell.
Have to go through the tribulation, which is like, I forget how many years. It's basically like when the Antichrist, they believe, will rule, and if you don't take the number of I was taught weird ass shit, and the more I think about it now, I'm like, oh my God, I believe that. But it's because that's what I was taught from the time I was,
Yeah, I mean, we can't help the environment that we're raised in.
Exactly. But,
wow, it's interesting. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, if you're left behind in the tribulation, you can still go to heaven, but you have to not take the mark of the beast, possibly be beheaded if you don't take the mark of the beast. It's just insane. Yeah, it's insane. Wow. But the rapture is when Jesus is supposed to come back, and not all Christian religions believe in the rapture, but evangelicals do. Got it.
Yeah, okay.
They believe that's what all the Christians believe. All the evangelical Christians will be swept up to heaven. Jesus returns. It's crazy.
So I have to ask, because I was at a pro-Palestine protest earlier today with evangelical Christianity. Would you say that it's a common belief that when the rapture happens, Jesus will be in Israel, and it's important to support Israel because it's the land of the Jews and the land of Jesus? So then when you say all the good Christians are going to go up to heaven at the rapture, does that mean that the Jewish people in Israel are going to...
The way that I was taught, no.
No, they're not going to go up to...
The way that I was taught, yeah.
So they're going to have to go through the tribulations?
The way that I was taught, you had to invite Jesus into your heart and then stay right with God. So you could be right with God and then maybe suddenly you're not right with God. So there's all of this constant just stress, and because I was constantly, especially as a little kid, thinking, oh God, the rapture's gonna happen in a second.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? I'm thinking
it's rapture anxiety.
What if major? And I've talked to other ex-evangelicals and they have the same.
That's such a traumatic thing to raise a child with, rapture anxiety, that you need to be on your best behavior 100% of the time, even as you're a developing child who has to...
It really fucked me up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But they believe that Israel is God's chosen people, but they believe if you haven't accepted Jesus into your heart that you're going to hell. Some Jews don't believe in Jesus. It's crazy. The more you think about it, I watched this, if there's any ex-evangelicals in there, there's this ex-evangelical pastor, Timmy Gibson. And he like says stuff, I'm like, oh my God, that's stuff like I used to believe. And he's like, I can't believe I used to believe this. But yeah,
well,
yeah, they believe that America's always, because there's so many Christians, you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
They're the chosen people, so they want to keep the wars going because they really, and they also believe that the wars are a sign of the time, a sign of the end times. The tribulation is. It's like they're so desperate for the apocalypse that they just don't even bother to live, you know, or take care of their environment because, you know, the rapture's going to happen in a second. We'll be out of here. Fuck this planet.
It's actually really interesting to hear you kind of describe that, because it's not something that, it's not a set of beliefs that I grew up with, but it's something that I've seen talked about by folks who did grow up in very ultra-religious or right-wing communities. And especially just since over the last 16 months, as I've been paying more and more attention to the Palestinian struggle, the Palestinian cause, and I've got my Unity and Confronting Zionism shirt on.
I'm pro-Palestine.
Oh, nice. But I've come to realize that a majority of Zionists worldwide are actually not even Jewish. There are more Christian Zionists than there are Jewish Zionists. And as you're kind of describing, the Christian Zionists don't even believe that the Jewish people currently living in Israel are going to go to heaven unless they accept Jesus.
Exactly. But, and here's a weird thing too, that like, because it's like, as a little kid, you're like, well, what if they don't ever hear about Jesus? But they have an excuse for everything, and they're like, well, in the Bible it says that everybody at some point in their lives will have the opportunity to accept Christ. Come on, really?
Interesting. So
That's how I was taught, though.
Are you still religious at all? A witch?
Yeah.
Could you elaborate? I guess that is your name, but maybe I haven't watched enough to know what you mean by that.
Just a witch. I do good magic. I do all hex pedophile, you know.
Hex pedophiles?
I will, yeah. I do good magic and
Wow, that's
magic to sort of speed karma up.
okay. Yeah. Did you study under a magic expert, or where does any?
No, I'm just a natural witch. Most of us are just independent.
Most of us, those of you in the witch community.
Yeah, pagans.
Well, I feel like I have so many questions and I don't know where to start.
But it's basically, I honor the earth.
You honor the earth?
Honor the earth.
Well, that's I can totally respect that.
A huge part of it.
Okay, well that I can get behind, honoring the earth.
And so does Scientology, because I don't
Revoke Scientology's tax exempt status, indeed.
When I first got here, I was pretty fired,
Talking about voodoo, it looks like that's what some folks in my chat are saying. Is that aligned at all with what you do?
but voodoo is a type of witchcraft, I would say, yeah.
Is this one in which you partake,
I
or?
don't do voodoo, but I do have some voodoo dolls.
You? Wow.
just little, just for like, you know, people that deserve it.
Okay,
like
fair.
Trump, for example.
Okay.
I have a Trump voodoo doll, stuff, right?
Has it worked?
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna step a little bit out of the sidewalk so that I'm not blocking it. Passersby can come on by. What is your chat saying? How are they on board with, or familiar with your whole witchcraft lore?
Yep. We're listening to Laura's waves. Oops, I'm way behind.
Dreamscape says the rule of three: hexing or wishing evil on another. Bring that energy threefold back to the hexer.
No,
is that anything you're familiar with, or?
That's something that Wiccans believe. I do not believe that. I believe that there are ways of getting around karma.
So do you have a more,
I've
are there
done
like
it.
multiple tendencies within witchcraft, like Wiccan and pagan, and those are like each different forms of witchcraft, or?
What do you mean?
I'm just like I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of this at all.
It's all good.
I like, a part of me is like, am I being trolled right now? Like witches? I've just never met anybody who identifies as a witch.
You just may not have known it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dreamscape says, Witch Share already blocked me in her chat and hexed me. Is this true?
I would have to go home and check my list. I have a list. If you were trolling, then probably.
Granny T says, nah, this is nutty. I might agree with you there. No disrespect, but yeah. To each their own. I mean, I don't hold individual Scientologists accountable for their beliefs, even though I don't agree with them. My beef is with the leadership.
I believe a lot in energy.
Energy, okay.
I'm not a regular witch.
Not a regular
I have
witch.
my own beliefs, and I don't expect anybody else to ever believe. You know what I mean? Like I don't care because it works for me.
Are there any like well-known witches out there that, like, if I wanted to learn more about, I mean, I guess I'm still just like, what even does all of this mean? Like, you do magic? Like, what have you found that indicates that your magic works?
I do spells. I do binding spells. I did a binding spell a long time ago.
A binding spell. What does that mean?
My friend was having a lot of trouble with her teenage kid, and I did a binding spell to bind his behavior.
Bind his behavior?
Yeah,
Like get him to
so
stop misbehaving?
Yeah. And it instantly worked. The kid was good for months until I broke the spell, and then he went back to shitty behavior. Now maybe it's just coincidence. I'm open to that.
That's good.
I've done a lot of things like that.
That have
where it's like maybe it's coincidence, but it certainly doesn't hurt anything.
Sure.
You know, unless it
And I mean, I
works.
guess to a certain extent, prayer can be seen the same way in a lot of ways, that like praying to a higher power to help you through
I'm such a different kind of witch. I don't really believe in a higher power.
Well, sure, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I would just mean like, now I'm starting to understand, like,
Yeah,
okay, casting a spell to get what you want to happen, yeah, I can understand that as a similar,
And it's more about intention.
you know, like prayer, postulation.
But yeah, I don't bow to any god.
Venus Blue says Lilydale, New York is a great place to learn. Are you familiar with this person?
No.
I'm wondering if that might be another witch.
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really. Oh, you're fine. You can walk on it. You're fine. You can walk on it. It's fine. People are always, you're good. How are you doing? Sorry. Oh, you're fine.
No worries. I love the Def Leppard shirt. Pour some sugar on me in the name of love. She had a Def Leppard.
I like yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing guitar as much these last few months. I've been working full time, which makes it harder to get back out there. It makes it harder to make content, to play the guitar. Oh, time management. We're getting there. I'm learning.
Learning and learning.
With you.
I don't know if I've been hour and 2 hours, but I was on for like quite a while, and then I hit a wrong button. So when I came back, it restarted the time, so I'm not sure.
I got you. I see Mikey Dubs in my chat says sing Muse. Do you know any Muse?
Bring it. They're saying sing, Jacob, sing.
Yes, Jacob, bring it. Thank you, Jody Q. Thank you, Adrian.
I also practice supernaturalology. We just been
Supernaturalology?
It's a joke. I'm a huge fan of the series Supernatural.
I haven't seen that one. I just finished the show Homeland. I don't know if you ever saw that one, but there's 8 seasons of it, and it's about a CIA agent or.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first season. I can't think of the name of the girl.
Claire Danes or Carrie Matheson. Yeah.
I liked what I saw. I forgot about that series.
You know, it totally kept my attention, and I thought it was well written and very interesting, but there are also a lot of criticisms I had of it. I mean, it's very, I mean, you know kind of where my political views come from, and it's definitely very pro-US and anti-US enemies.
Yeah.
I could do my whole own deep dive. That could get its whole own stream maybe sometime, but it was interesting. It kept my attention, and now I'm done with that one. Oh. Well, I guess it's not uncommon that when I come to protest Scientology, I end up talking about other things, others besides Scientology, but I'd say it's all relevant, talking about the different religious organizations with their own forms of high control and...
Just the fact that we're here.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's been a bit. The brick road that is L. Ron Hubbard Way.
There were a couple of little kids that came up before. One that they said that, but they were asking me what I was doing. I said, protesting Scientology. And they were like, why? I said, oh, I have friends who were hurt from Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, how? I'm like, oh, well, I can't talk to you. I can't tell you that.
How long have you been paying attention to Scientology?
I've been following the protests since the beginning.
The beginning, like fall 2023, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I met Laura in front of Big Blue on September 28th, 2023. That was when Eat Predators organized a protest here, which was.
I remember.
You remember that?
I remember seeing. That's the first time I would have seen you. Then I think.
I wasn't streaming on my own channel at the time, but I
weren't?
was there, and Alexa Nicholas was there, and Laura FM was there. Both of them were streaming, so I was on both of their streams.
That's when Laura saw her dad, and
No. That was December 2023. That was at the Shrine Auditorium.
Oh, that's right.
The Shrine Auditorium. It's a theater that's right next to USC, where David Miscavige gave a speech.
Yeah, I went the last time that we.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
I think that was the second time I went. Yeah, because the first one was the Christmas parade thing at Winter Wonderland. Just this last year. Because I just recently, because I have mental health, a lot of mental health, time to be able to get out here and do it.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Oh my goodness. Did my sunglasses just fall off? Oh no. One of my lenses fell out. That's okay. This has happened before. This pair of sunglasses actually lasted longer than many pairs of sunglasses I have had before, but oh well. Let me switch my camera view real quick. That's true. They're not my reading glasses. These aren't prescription. I think I got these for like $15. I'll be fine. But bummer nonetheless.
I used to have regular.
Oh, I popped them right back in.
Oh, nice. I had regular
Day
glasses.
is saved, y'all.
I had some regular prescription glasses. I had them for so long.
I believe it.
I have new glasses.
Who else is in the chat? Rika. Hey, Rika.
Oh,
Hey, Merzy.
What's up, Rika?
Venus Blue says people would label me as one, but I just put intentions beyond things, nothing bad, behind things, excuse me, nothing bad ever. Crystals in nature. I'm assuming you mean people would label you a witch. Sounds like maybe you've got some witch community in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Venus Blue in here.
There's a lot of there's more of us than you think.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I have met one before and just didn't realize it.
And, there's also Wicca, which not all witches are Wiccan, not all Wiccans are witches. So, but Wicca, like researching Wicca is kind of gives you part of it because it gives the earth stuff.
Okay, okay. Hi, Marina. Good to see you in here. I see. Well, I'll have to take a deep dive into that. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh, you know who's although I think she's a Satanist. There's the Anti-Bot. Have you ever watched the Anti-Bot? I think she's a satanic temple, though not Levian Satanist.
I actually did take a little bit of a deep dive into that because I remember I don't remember exactly when it was. I want to say it's been a couple years by now, but Tony Ortega, a journalist, reported on the fact that there was some survey that came out where Scientology and Satanism were the two least popular religions.
I know.
And Tony made some kinds of comments about like, oh, no surprise to see. I don't remember exactly what he said, but
You know what's insane?
he had a lot of Satanists reach out to him and
I
say, how
have a-
dare you compare
yeah,
them?
I have-
We're so misunderstood.
I know
So I took a bit of a deep dive. They don't seem all that bad.
And like, Satanists, one of
They don't
Anton
actually
LaVey
worship
taught-
Satan.
Anton LaVey taught you never touch somebody without consent, and you never fuck with kids. So it's like there's never been a single war that Satanism caused. How many?
Well, and they're even they're against even like having
Oh,
any
yeah.
brick and mortar like
Yeah.
storefronts, aren't they? Or churches of any kind, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And
because
they don't,
isn't it kind of more of a philosophy? Like,
Yeah, they're really kind of atheistic.
that's the vibe that I've gotten.
Yeah.
But
But then there's two different kinds. There's the Satanic Temple, which I don't know a lot about. I think that's what the anti-bot is. And then I have a friend who's a LaVeyan Satanist, which is like...
so Anton LaVey, his
Anton LaVey.
writings are the foundation of the Church of Satan.
And he did not believe that any church should pay taxes. I mean...
No,
sorry, the reverse. He believed that all churches should pay taxes.
Yeah, I've actually seen the Church of Satan tweet that out before, and then
Yeah.
people, oh my gosh, I never thought I'd be agreeing with the Church of Satan, but here we are.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of just tried to do the opposite of everything that the Bible's totally pro-rape, pro-slavery.
Adrian in your chat says the religion of the Jedi has more followers than
Yes,
Scientology.
that's true,
You know,
that's
I've seen
true.
people put that as their religion on Facebook before, because you can identify your religious views on Facebook, and I've seen people put Jedi, which has always just made me laugh, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they do have legitimate followers. Oh, goodness. I mean, Star Wars, that franchise has been around and popular for a long time. I don't know if I've seen these yellow tents up before. Have those been up a while, or?
They did that for the fire.
Oh,
To be their, fund, relief fund or whatever, their mission, one of their missionary.
did you get evacuated at all?
No,
Nice.
I'm in the South Bay.
Gotcha.
I'm over near Rosanda.
Hmm.
So I was pretty close.
I was somewhat close to the Eaton fire, but thankfully I didn't have to evacuate.
Oh, good.
Although the
good.
power was out for a good, I want to say almost 48 hours at one point, and that was tough because
Yeah.
to let you in on how my life since moving out of my parents' house has been going, I've been having a lot of microwave meals that have to be in the fridge. So when the power went out, our fridge didn't work and all the food went bad.
Oh,
So then I wanted to go get meals at the grocery store, just food out to eat, but the power was out everywhere, so all the restaurants and stores were closed. So I just started driving, like looking for some place with the light on, and ended up driving for like 15 minutes until I found a 7-Eleven with the lights on. So I got a few bananas, a few sandwiches. Yeah, there was a time. Those LA fires, no joke. A lot of people had it worse than me. I'm lucky that I didn't have to evacuate.
Scientology, like stole supplies from
I was seeing a lot of that, and I had friends who are not really active in this community, but who know that it's something that I pay attention to, who are just
Yeah.
DMing me.
telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also in a political group chat where somebody pointed out like, oh y'all, look at what the Church of Scientology was doing, and then I responded, because he didn't know about all the protesting that I've done. I just responded with a bunch of selfies of myself next to Scientology signs, and I was like, oh, don't get me started on the Church of Scientology.
Right. That's how I am. Yeah, my kids lied with my mom about it. They really, but they like you. They're like, but I've had some that like had done. One of them had done Scientology courses at one point.
Oh really?
She realized that it was a cult, and so she couldn't get out of it. But she said they still call her, they still email her. It was a long time ago.
They still call her. That would make me think that she wasn't even declared a suppressive person. So did she just voluntarily leave? She wasn't declared?
Public, is that what?
Yeah, parishioner, or
she was
yeah.
Public and took some, I forget what kind of classes she was taking. Writing classes, she said. Writing classes.
Okay.
But then they were trying to get her to quietness by
Interesting. I never knew anybody who was in Scientology until I started protesting, but
Same.
meeting Laura, meeting Serge, definitely brought things to a new perspective.
Oh.
Although I already kind of felt that just from getting to know people's stories and like listening to audiobooks and watching documentaries. So did you pay much attention to Scientology like before the protesting started, or was the protesting kind of when you became aware?
When it first came out,
When what first came out?
I had watched Leah Rinder.
Oh, nice.
And so I knew some of it through her. And then I started watching. I watched this series called, I think it's called Myth Vision Podcast. He basically debunks all religion. Basically. But, and shows the receipt. But anyways, I saw like Aaron was on his podcast. So I started watching him, and then I found a bunch of others. I do not watch him anymore because of the whole abuse bullshit.
I get it.
But I'm grateful that I found Laura and Scotty.
Well, yeah, I was kind of saying to Mike chat before, like while I was walking over here, that Mike Rinder died a couple months ago, and he is somebody who I've viewed as like one of the most influential people in the anti-Scientology community. And in the last year or so of his life, he was obviously a very controversial figure in the community. And because there were ex-Scientologists who I know personally, who do not like Mike Rinder at all, I think I just kind of told myself like, well, I'm a never in, so it's not really my battle to get involved with. But especially after seeing the series of videos that he did a couple of months before his death, and then once he died, it made me really upset about how many people like really tore him down, in my opinion, unjustly, during the last year or so of his life. And some people even after his death have continued to attack. I don't know. I know it's controversial and different people in the community have different thoughts, but I have a lot of respect for him. Rest in peace, Mike.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And not to put you on the spot. I don't mean to put you on the spot and like make you have to. Yeah, you don't have to comment. But I think where I was going with that was like in light of all the drama. Like there's some people who you don't watch anymore. Like that's kind of the one thing that I really did come to like. I regret not amplifying him more in the last year of his life. I guess I could say.
What he did, but I'm disappointed because I feel like there's a lot more he could have done. I believe he probably could have taken it down, but he would have ended up in jail if he did. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm grateful for what he did. That's
well, yeah, no, and that's entitled to that opinion. I feel like he really was working hard, but I guess to each their own.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm gonna get a quick drink of water. I do have my SP bracelet on. This is one that I got from Mark and Claire Headley, who are also...
Nice.
I can't even get it out. It's going up my sleeve. Where is my SP bracelet? There it is. Although I think this camera, the letters are backwards, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's something that you've encountered too, if that's on iPhones and Androids, but...
Mine's Android.
When I'm streaming on selfie mode...
Not.
Well, it used to always be that it would show as backward, like letters would show as backwards if I'm on selfie view on my camera. They would show as backwards to me, but then to the audience, they would be forward facing. But now, from what I heard, I mean, unless it changed over the course of this stream, but that's still backwards. Does it look like backwards P, backwards S, when it should say SP for suppressive person? Thank you, Mark and Claire Headley, for sending me the SP bracelet. You have a portable charger?
Yeah.
Yep, my chat confirms that it is backwards. I don't know why YouTube would change that, because it used to always work fine. Usually if you make an update, it should make things better.
Right?
This time it did not. Trying to think of what additional news has come out in the Scientology world since I was last out here. I think that there was an update in Leah Remini's lawsuit that Scientology released its appeal to some of the causes of action. Or wait, let me back up. If I understand correctly, and people in the chat, if you've followed along with reporting by Tony Ortega or others, keep me honest. But if I'm not mistaken, in Leah Remini's lawsuit, there was an anti-SLAPP effort made by Scientology to get certain causes of action, certain allegations of Leah's struck, and the judge ended up ruling partially in Leah's favor and partially in Scientology's favor, in that some of the harassment that Leah was suing over was deemed by the court to be constitutionally protected free speech. But a lot of the stuff still stayed in. So Scientology is appealing that decision. And now, if I'm not mistaken, the case has a different judge, because it was Judge Randolph Hammock, but Scientology submitted, or David Miscavige specifically, oh gosh, I haven't been to the court in a while. I'm blanking on some of the names of the terms, but there's peremptory challenge. That's what it is. He issued a peremptory challenge to have Judge Hammock removed from the case. And I'm not sure the name of the current judge, if there is one. But, I miss going to the courthouse. Now that I'm working full time, I can't go to the courthouse as much, because Monday through Friday, working hours, that's when I'm booked up now. But hey, spring break is coming up, so maybe I will have to go in, even if there's not a hearing, just to use the computers there. Because that is one fun thing. I mean, I have fun doing it. If you want to make searches on the LA court website, if you're away from the courthouse, you can search, but you have to pay. Like, it's not free. But if you're at the courthouse, then you can access all that stuff without having to pay for it.
Nice.
So there were times that I went there for a lawsuit, and then even sometimes me and Dodge would stay and just use the court computers and just dig up all these documents that we could. It was, oh, those were the times. Like 10, 11 months ago, when I was going to community college, working part-time.
Are you caught up with DOA?
So, I've been trying to keep up with it. So he already had his case that he was indicted on for 16 misdemeanors involving loud noise. Is that right? Disrupting the peace, or it was 16 misdemeanors that had to do with noise violations, right?
And then there was,
or like disrupting a religious service.
Else.
He's trying to combine them.
Yeah.
Okay, but the other one that he was just recently indicted on, that has to do with, one of them is assaulting Motley Crue, allegedly. Is that okay? Yeah. And then some of them involve vandalism. And if I understood correctly, I think they were like vandalism charges that would most likely have been misdemeanors, except for the fact that it's a religious organization. So that way, the charges were escalated to hate crimes, which makes them felonies. Am I?
I think that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're trying. But it's like, it was like a little cheap sign. They've taken our sign before too.
I've seen it. Yeah, I can recall being here with Confident Chris when he took a lap and caught them taking down our signs.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they really, because I went to his.
Oh, did arraignment?
The prosecutor was really trying to, like, he just tell all these lies. And I'm saying, there's no hate crime.
Well, I mean, look, I definitely think that the extent of the charges, and especially the extent of the original bail, is kind of outrageous. I wish Scotty the best in fighting this, and I hope that he doesn't have to serve anywhere near the maximum sentence. So best of luck to him there. But I do hope that it can be just a good lesson all around of what to be careful of. And I mean, we'll see how this goes. I have no doubt that it's gonna be a riveting handful of months. But oh goodness, what a time. Is this the same lawyer who? Oh, okay. And he had his cold case dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? That's good to hear. have a good feeling. Whoa, sometimes I get a good feeling. Let me get another drink of water real quick. I'm thirsty, all this talking.
Oh, it was a bell. It was what I went to was the arraignment for bell.
Was the arraignment
For bell, yeah.
For what?
For the bell.
Oh, bail. Got it.
Yeah. And 21st is the
21st. That's the. So the 21st. That's the arraignment for the noise charges, right? Like the disrupting the religious service. Is that what that arraignment is for?
Chat.
I think that was my understanding. And chat, feel free to keep me honest if you know the truth. But my understanding was that March 21st will be his arraignment for the loud noise charges. I think I did hear a stream where Scotty was saying that he wants that to do that, but I don't like Viola Joinder or gosh, I'm still learning my legal terminology. But I don't know if that is already the case that they're together. I think that's his goal. Hi Holly. Holly Lewis is in here. Good to see you.
Somebody said the last person they tried to assassinate Trump only had a $35,000
That wow.
down to 75,000. Yeah, but that's insane.
Yeah, 325,000. That was
ridiculous.
incredibly excessive.
It's like, come on, he's not gonna he wants to fight us.
Yeah, and I see Kelly, Wisconsin says I can't keep up with all the drama. You know, I feel like I've done my best to stay out of drama within the community, and a part of the reason is because right now I'm obviously very pro-Palestine. I was at a pro-Palestine rally today. I feel like when I think of activism and what activist causes are important to me, this is really important to me. I feel like there's a genocide. It's a responsibility of those who can to speak out. Now, not to minimize the seriousness of the allegations against Scientology or the human rights abuses committed by Scientology and the fact that they have tax exempt status and that should be taken away. Not to shy away from the very serious nature of all of that, but I've just felt like if I'm gonna use a platform for activism, I want to use it to stand up for what I believe in. And when there is,
like everybody in your heart is pulled towards something.
mm-hmm.
Like with me, it's this and the MMIW, the murdered and missing individuals. It's very, very close to my heart. I need to find somebody to get closer for that. Decolonization,
land back, that's definitely a very common theme among the pro-Palestine crowd.
When I came here, I did kind of a little double mini protest. I had an MMIW shirt and then I did the red hand.
Yeah, I remember. What's the day of because I remember there was a calendar day that was.
May 5th.
Oh, okay.
I think it's May 5th. Or that's like Red Dress Day or something. A lot of people hang out in red dresses out of their windows.
Well,
Acknowledge murder and missing individuals.
no, yeah, it's horrible. I mean, the deeper I dive into it, it's like, wow, there's so many perspectives that I just never even considered growing up. I mean, I remember learning in like 5th grade about manifest destiny and how heroic it was that these settlers had the idea to colonize the new world from sea to shining sea, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, that was such an honorable cause, and what heroes for doing that. Like, in hindsight, it totally overlooks the genocide of all of the indigenous communities that already lived on that land that we're now calling the New World.
And in my opinion, they're still trying to wipe them out.
Oh yeah, I mean the ongoing, oh gosh, settler colonialism has not ended by any means. I mean, I used to live in the Bay Area, about an hour inland from San Francisco, and the indigenous community up there is the Muwekma Ohlone people, and recently they did a Trail of Truth march where they marched to Washington D.C. on horseback, and their horses are very like sacred in their community. and many of them were arrested along the way. And I mean, it's more of the same. I've even heard of ICE targeting indigenous communities, and it's like, okay, where could you possibly deport somebody who's indigenous to this land to?
Right. It's disgusting. Yeah,
It is. So when I think of activist causes that I'm passionate about, and my platform and what I want to do with my platform, I'd rather focus on that kind of stuff than get into the weeds about infighting between different members of a community where we're all actually fighting for the same thing. I don't know. I hope that makes some sense. It might.
Some of us, though, are standing up against abuse in general. Like, that's why I have a problem with Aaron Smith-Levin, because he's psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and in one case that we know of, physically abuses women.
You know, I'm actually not. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with any of that.
I'm just against abuse, and I just don't want to have anything to do with him.
Some folks coming by. No, I totally understand. I mean,
I'm just against abuse in general, because that's why I don't like Trump. He's a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a problem with rape, so.
Oh, who doesn't? Of course. Yeah,
and a lot of rape goes on.
Yeah, this is true. Unfortunately, we've got some folks coming by. Hello. Some friends walking by. Aw. Hello. I figured it might make sense to just be a little quiet when there's children walking by. A couple of kids just walked by. It sounded like one of them was trying to read the chalk. That was cute. Yeah, it's... Hello, folks, coming into the chat. Hello. Oh, Fingy. Hi, Fingy. She says, does this mean that you're back? I mean, you know, I work full-time. I don't have the same amount of free time that I used to, but when I can get out here, I'd love to. It's good to be back. It's good to be talking to the witch share and learn about the true nature of being a witch, which I'm still learning. I'm no expert. Hi, Kate Taylor. Hi, CHLS. I don't know if I know how to pronounce that username, but you say that I've been deeply missed, so it's nice to see you. Hi, Mary James.
And then I have another serious problem with Aaron pulling these strikes to try to help Scientology against DOA.
Could you say that again?
Oh, Aaron striking DOA's channel.
Is that confirmed?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's sometimes hard to keep up because sometimes there's like multi-hour streams that I'll only see clips from, so I'm like, do I know everything that was discussed?
That's like serious fucking with somebody's, you know what I mean, criminal case.
So what I understood is that if you get 3 copyright strikes, your channel gets taken away. If you get 2, for your first 2 copyright strikes, YouTube will actually tell you who filed the strike. For your 3rd one, your channel just disappears, and so you don't actually know. And my understanding is that that's what happened, because he wasn't sure if it was. Did he think it was Kelly?
We know Kelly
I don't know.
One, and we know that Aaron did one.
Well, so that's what I'm saying, is that if they were the first 2, do we know who did the 3rd one, or is he just assuming that it was one of those 2?
Hey Laura, what's up?
Oh, hi Laura. Laura's in the chat.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, are you on the front-facing camera? Hi, Laura. Been singing your music a little bit here. Learning and loving with you.
Yeah, we just said chat to the telling you. Well, I mostly work, but yeah, the siding with Scientology just because you don't like somebody.
Well, and that actually, that's something that I think part of what Streets William was saying is worth listening to, because he's had beef with Scott. But he shared when he did a video, I think it was the day that DOA was arrested. It was something called something like DOA arrested, what this means for the community, the bigger picture, something like that. But he talked about the fact that regardless of what you think of the guy, this is wrong. Like, this is absolutely an example of corruption. So I think regardless of how closely you've kept up with the drama, I do think that's worth recognizing.
I don't like the word
Laura!
I think there is drama, but I think people standing up to abusers, it's not drama. Calling out abusers, it's not drama.
I can't argue with that. I'd say that's accurate.
And like them trying to affect somebody's court case, that's not drama.
That's fair.
Horrible.
Yeah, I won't argue with that. I mean, I feel like I interpreted a lot of what happened when the Aftermath Foundation voted Aaron off, and it was not long after that a lot of criticism of Mike Rinder within the anti-Scientology community became much more popular. I considered a lot of that drama, and I tried to stay out of that in the moment. But well, I've kind of already discussed how I look back on the last year, but onward and upward, though we can only go forward from here. But many thanks to Mike and all that he did, all that he accomplished, and all that he exposed. Hey Ash, thank you for being here. Crack the triple digits. We got 109 people in here. Fingy says, Jacob, have you seen what happened to Emily Pike? I don't know if I know who Emily Pike is. Do you know who that is? Emily Pike? So Fingy, her username... Fingy's a troll? What? Really?
Right, guys?
I've never had anything but pleasant interactions with Fingy myself. I mean, so that... They're saying, they're confirming? Okay, well... y'all? What? Wait, what do I not know? What's...
Was he one of Scotty's old school trolls, Joey? He's got people that have been following him for years. I'm not sure if it was one of them or not. They're saying that.
Is Fingy... Isn't Fingy... Did Fingy used to be Confident Chris's finger? Am I correct that those identities are... That's what I thought. Yeah, Confident Chris's finger was the old name. Is that correct? Yeah, Fingy says correct. That was me. Look, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to act like I know people super well because the truth is I've only interacted with Fingy in the chat. But Fingy says I'm not a troll, but people may think I am. You know what? I'll let people have their own opinions, but I've got nothing impolite to say about Fingy. I mean, are there any specific allegations or anything, any reason that we're calling her a troll or? No. So I said Confident Chris's finger. That used to be the name of that account, and yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know Fingy's real name. All right, y'all. You know what? I would appreciate it. If you want to send me an email, jacobaharkey@gmail.com. If you have anything serious to talk to me about, that's fine. For the time being, while we're at a protest for Scientology, if we can call this that, the chalk looks good. The point is, we don't need to be bagging on Fingy in the chat. Yeah, we don't need that. As Mandy says, calm down. Good to see you, Mandy. Thanks as always for all your work as a moderator on here. I guess it's been a little while, but it's nice to be back out here. Marina says, follow your gut, Jacob. Thank you. I will. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a while. I forgot how thirsty I get. I always try to I always try to strike a balance between staying hydrated, but also not drinking too much water to the point that I have to go to the bathroom. Sugar Baby says, have you talked to Mindy lately, Jacob? I miss her. I have not. I would love to. Oh, she was. I mean, yeah. I haven't talked to her in a while. No. I've missed a lot about this community. I hope Mindy's well. I still see updates. Oh, Mandy, you still talk to her. Fingy, you don't owe anybody an apology. You are good. You're good. I would love to know who Emily Pike is, though. I'm yelling at someone in my chat. I'm curious to know what for. What earns this person such? Did you delete the chat, or is it still there?
No. It wasn't the top part. That wasn't that part. Because that's true. They're just trying to start shit.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. I got it. Can be removed. Mandy, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got it.
Mandy says she's just doing her thing and being in love. I did see that Mindy is in a relationship. Congratulations, Mindy. You know, the day I met Mindy, she gave me a copy of her book, Date Smart. It was Oh, you're talking to your mods? Yeah, there's a lot of folks from the community I haven't seen in a while. I got to see some folks I haven't seen in a while at the show, you included. Mandy, you have COVID. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I hope you get better soon. Well, thank you for being here while you're in recovery. Oh, is that a Scientology van? Marina White says, hey Jacob, it's refreshing to see you back at Blue. You've been missed. Saw you at Laura's show too. Thank you for being here. It's good to be back. Mind if I join? Anna Maria, no thank you. We can be nice in the chat. Kenya! Good to see you in here. So is there an event tonight? I saw a lot of people on the street a little bit ago, and I wasn't sure, since Hubbard's birthday is in the middle of the week this week. I'm not sure if they waited until the weekend to do an event, or I don't know. Wow. Hey.
I forgot about that his birthday was the 13th.
That's right. Oh yeah, it's been raining quite a bit lately. Learning and loving with you. Laura's in my chat. Laura, can you remind me the venue for your next show? If I'm not mistaken, it's March 28th, but I don't think I can remember where. Or do you remember where? Cat's Crawl? Laura, if you're still here, if you want to confirm that, that'd be cool. Your shows are always a vibe. Oh, okay. Fingy says.
And a lot of what she plays with. Like, there's a lot of really, really good bands.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, her stage presence and just the way she makes everything a part of the show. Like, if she doesn't mistake or something.
Oh, no, yeah. She's great.
Performance is...
The Cat's Crawl, you are right. Cat's Crawl on March 28th, 10 p.m. sharp. Ooh, I love it. I don't think I have ever been to the Cat's Crawl. Wow, there's more people coming out of the building right now than I usually see. Kenya says, I'm driving, so I'll be listening. Be safe. And Fingy, I will have to read into Emily Pike's story. That's, wow. What a story it sounds like that is. It sounds like Emily Pike was an indigenous girl who was murdered and possibly trafficked.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I have to.
See some IAS jackets. Hello. Aftermath Foundation does have volunteers who are willing and able to help you get back on your feet, just in case you are interested. No pressure, of course. Oh, is that right? See, you know, this building is called Lebanon Hall. I've never really known why, and I would love to know what moved Scientology to name this building that. Because especially Lebanon Hall, that's just what the words say there, but I mean, Lebanon is also another state that has been attacked by Israel in the last 16 months, and long before that. It was certainly not the first series of attacks. But in light of all that, now being back here and seeing that, oh, Lebanon Hall, how did that name come about? What moved Scientology to give them that name? Fingy says, I have a lot of indigenous friends. They've asked me to spread the awareness of her since the cops are trying to cover up what happened. Thank you, Jacob. Of course, you know, I might even try to connect with you after I get off here. I think we follow each other on TikTok. And I think we might follow each other on Instagram too. In any case, I'll try to, if you want to DM me, feel free, because I definitely do want to read into the situation more. Hello. Insta and TikTok. Okay, sweet. I want my internet go out for a moment. My internet might have. I feel like my service tends to not be good right here. Oh, really? Yeah, feel free to let me know in the chat how the service is, if you can still hear and see me. I have been streaming for 72 minutes, it appears. Granny says, service is great, good to know.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate it. Almost 4 hours, that's a minute. Alright, guys. I think I'm gonna get ready to go.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Let me check.
Oh, Kay Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, do what you gotta do. In fact, I've been here for over an hour. I'll probably dip out before too long myself. Miguel says they also replaced the cross on the sign for a new one. Which sign is that? You don't mean the one up here, do you? Or is that new? I don't know. Interesting. I wonder how new that is. I was not aware that they replaced it. It does look a little bit shinier, now that I think about it. And folks have explained, used to be Cedars of Lebanon Hospital. Got it. You know what, now that y'all remind me of that, I think I had heard that. I think I had definitely learned that before. So thanks for the reminder. I've been away from the community too long. Did you end your stream?
I wait until Uber comes.
Oh, gotcha.
But I do need to bring it back now.
Gotcha. I'll hang out. Oh, did you already order an Uber?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll hang out until you order the Uber and maybe take one loop and then probably get going myself.
Walk around.
Yeah, yeah.
Just being here, like, there were a couple of ladies, you know, like in the community that I talked to.
Nice.
Like, if to me, if you can spread the word from one person, it's worth it out here.
Nice. All love to you, Laura. I think I saw before I started my stream that you were doing one of your sunset or wave streams. That was cool. Laura says, Jacob, what are you up to later? Absolutely nothing. So once I end this stream, if you want to text, I am more than happy to do so. I'll keep on this stream for a little bit until Witchshare's Uber comes here to pick her up, and then I'll take a deep dive into witchcraft and learn more about that. Take a deep dive into Emily Pike, learn more about that story. It's one thing I miss about being in this community is it's an ongoing educational process. Oh, I just noticed your beanie.
Oh, I just put it on.
Oh, you just put it on.
Cold, yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. Got my beanie on too. Although mine doesn't have, it's not merch from an anti-Scientology creator, as is yours. Sandy Hill says, catch you all later, love to all. We'll catch you later, Sandy. Thank you for stopping by. And in case I didn't show it yet on this stream, there's that OT symbol across the street for Operating Thetan at AOLA, Advanced Organization, Los Angeles, where you can get your OT levels done, the confidential levels, where you can learn about Xenu and the body Thetans. And here we are at that infamous intersection, Fountain Avenue and L. Ron Hubbard Way. Granny T says, Jacob, can you please stream 8 hours a day? We miss you. Hey, I appreciate it, but oh, if only there was such time. I remember I saw a tweet one time that was like, being employed is great until you have to work. And boy do I get it. Oh, and yes, Holly says minus the planters. Whoop, go Audit LA. Yeah, so my understanding, Audit LA played a pretty big role in convincing the city. Is that your ride? All right.
Yeah,
nice to see you. Have a good one. All right, folks. Well, I'll walk around a little bit more. Then I'll probably end my stream, text Laura, see what she's up to. Maybe get something to eat. Maybe hang out with Laura. It's good to be back, folks. I've missed y'all. Marina says, oh, you were on Nora's stream yesterday. First time on someone's stream, I recognize your name, but others don't recognize. Interesting. I hope the stream went well. Thank you, Marina. All right, why don't I switch to this view for a little bit. I haven't walked around this side of the building yet. Hello. All right. Oh, somebody running with some bags there. Interesting. What could he have in those bags? But he really is running. He is in a hurry. Oh. He's sneaking. Oh, he really snuck in there. I don't know how well you guys were able to see that guy sneak into the door there. But I zoomed in and then I might have been shaky. No front license plate on this car. Interesting. There's somebody. We've got some caution tape here. Very interesting. Wow. Yeah, it looks like there's some construction of some sort happening right here. Who knows what kind of renovations they've got in place these days. Deliveries here. For all deliveries that require a signature, push the intercom button. Well, that appears to be new. At least new to me. I don't know how new they might be to y'all, if y'all have kept up with the day-to-day of what goes on here. 1330 North Catalina Street. I don't think that I have ever noticed that street sign before. To be gone from somewhere for a little bit of time and come back and see all the renovations, all the changes. Oh, Helen says if you look up, that building was affected by an earthquake. Interesting, interesting. Jennifer says, do Jacob a favor and respect all his chat supporters. He doesn't need drama. Thank you, I appreciate that. And like I said, if you want to send me an email, my email is jacobaharkey@gmail.com. If you have things that you think need to be brought to my attention, I'm happy to hear you out. But I would appreciate it if we could minimize the drama in here. There's that Scientology logo with the 2 triangles. Yeah, gosh, when I started protesting outside of this building, they did not take nearly the precautions that they take now to prevent us from being able to see anything that goes on. Miguel says, Jacob, since you haven't been at Blue, you could have walked in the building and asked questions. Oh, I've definitely protested outside of this building before many times. It's just been a little bit. The first time I ever did was September of 2023. That was at a protest organized by Alexa Nicholas of Eat Predators. And I also met Laura FM that day. That was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, definitely looks like there's some work going on right here. Interesting. Thingy says, do you think they had a birthday LRH bash at the racetrack like last year? I actually don't know. I want to say that I saw something in the Scientology protest Reddit about an upcoming birthday event that I don't think has happened yet, and I'm not sure if it's this weekend or if it's next weekend. I really can't remember. But I want to say that there was some event planned for the LA area. Something can be done about it, as the yellow tents say. It was hot like me. Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Oh, we got people dancing in that car. I love it. Woo! Your girlfriend was hot like me. Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Oh my goodness. Oh, that was funny. I haven't heard that song in a minute. Who does that song again? Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Who does that song? Can somebody remind me? I know the song. I just don't remember the title or the artist for sure. But that was a funny moment. Pussycat Dolls. Thank you. Revoke Scientology's tax-exempt status. Revoke Scientology's tax-exempt status. Revoke Scientology's tax-exempt status today. The Church of Scientology should not be a 501c3, so revoke Scientology's tax-exempt status today. Folks, I gotta play the guitar again. It's been a few weeks since I got any practice in. Time management can be tough with a full-time job, but every time I pick up the guitar, I start playing it and I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't I do this every day? If I did this every day, I could be so much better than I am. But we do our best. We make progress where and when we can. Oh, here's another thing I haven't done in a while. I don't know why. I do this every time I come by. But I love to narrate this. The story of Book 1, Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health. Come in and watch a free film about the book that started it all. Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health has been a bestseller for over 60 years and has over 22 million copies in circulation in 50 languages. It is the most popular book on the mind ever written. It contains the discovery of the reactive mind, the source of your fears, insecurities, pains, and nightmares. Find out what is controlling your life and how you can get out of the reactive mind, how you can get rid of the reactive mind and achieve your goals. Films show every hour, walk-ins welcome. Still never seen the film. Although every time I read that, I get curious. Have they always had all these signs here? I've always seen this one. I can't recall if I've always seen all of these signs. Unauthorized vehicles parked in designated spaces not displaying distinguishing placards issued for persons with disabilities will be towed away at owner's expense. Got it. For a sec, I thought that was gonna say that you needed a special placard to say that you were a Scientologist. Got it. But this does say Church of Scientology parishioner parking only. Again, I feel the need to point out that this is a tax-exempt organization that is tax-exempt on the basis that they are supposed to be providing a public good. If they're providing a public good, and they're tax-exempt for the basis of the public, like they're providing a public benefit, why do they get to claim private property? Why? And keep in mind, folks, their tax-exempt status, it's not just a matter of money. The fact that they have tax-exempt status means that there is no governmental oversight required due to separation of church and state. And folks, First Amendment deals with freedom of religion, but that has to do with the freedom of the individual to practice a religion of their choosing. It is not an all-out declaration that any organization should be able to call itself a religious organization and therefore have tax-exempt status. Individual Scientologists can believe what they want to believe, but the Church of Scientology, the organization, and its highly unethical leadership should not be able to get away with crimes like human trafficking, child trafficking, obstruction of justice. But I know I'm preaching to the choir because everybody in here, unless we've got some OSA agents watching, y'all know what Scientology is all about. Curioso, entra y comienza a ver. What does that mean? Curious, enter and start to see? Comienza? Is that like commence? Like begin? Start? Enter and start to see? I think. No gracias, Miguel says. ¿Por qué no? Curious? Come in and start watching. Oh, I could have just literally looked at the other side, couldn't I have? Okay, so I was pretty much right. Come in and start watching. Oh, thank you, Zenujuana. You're too kind. The People's Champ says, I'm an OSA agent. Well, thank you, OSA agent, for the $2 super chat. Church of Scientology, Los Angeles. How's it going? Are you going to the org or just coming down the street? Oh, you don't have to talk. It's all good. Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Have a good day. No. Says he was in the middle of answering a call. Not sure if that was just an excuse to get away with me, because there may have been a Scientologist walking right behind me. I don't wanna make them feel like I don't want to be antagonistic toward them. That's why earlier I saw some other Scientologists, and I made a comment about the Aftermath Foundation has volunteers that are willing and able to help you get back on your feet. Because if I'm having a direct encounter with a Scientologist, I mean, unless it's David Miscavige or Tom Cruise, I don't need to. Well, they're not the only ones. Unless it's somebody who I have a reason to hold very specific crimes against them, I'm not going to go after them for their beliefs. Miguel says lies. They are always on their phone. Yeah, I am seeing more people. Oh, the Pacifica Cafe is open. I think I'll have to pass on giving them money for food right now. But let me switch back to this view. Hi. Hi. Yeah, you know, I feel like in the past, they would all hide and go inside whenever any streamer was out here, but me and Witch Share were out here for a little while, and there were still a good number of them out and about. Interesting to say the least. All right, this staff member was definitely about to cross the street right there and then walked away. Like I said, I'm not looking to be antagonistic. And if I do have an encounter, the biggest point I want to get across is that there are volunteers out there that are willing and able to help them leave. All right, folks, that was a fun stream. It is nice to be back in community with you all. I will get off this stream, perhaps go get a bite to eat, text Laura, maybe meet up with her. Miguel says, yes, Jacob didn't meet the town's deputy Ted, the security cowboy. I did not. Oh, is that the... You know what? I walked past a guy and he definitely looked familiar. I think, okay, that makes sense. I don't think I have ever had a direct encounter with Ted, but I think I may have just walked past him. Yeah. All right. Thank you to everybody who's in the chat. I hope you all stay well. I hope to be talking to you all again sooner rather than later. This was fun. All right. Stay well, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.